Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching the brand new media show today. This is a show that you want to watch all the way to the end, and hopefully it will help someone. You know, COVID-19 left people not only sick, but also bankrupt, especially the majority of our people who have always been living paycheck to paycheck. Loss of income and financial uncertainty has created stress and tension in all. The thought of unpaid bills and family responsibilities come as a nightmare for our people as we step into the new year. The financial impact on the pandemic has shaken families and relationships. Our nerves are raw. We have lost our confidence. At this stage, I believe meditation can help us sustainably. It will give us the calmness and strength to face reality from which we cannot run away. Candia Looney, director of Pima Corpo Meditation Center of Memphis, will be talking to us about the benefits of meditation. Candia Looney is a distinguished speaker, local columnist, and has been a meditation instructor for 28 years. Welcome to the show, Candia. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much. I want to make sure my audience know, please make sure you watch this show to the end, because we're also going to have a meditation section at the end. So hopefully it will help someone. Candia, I want you to just take control, but I'm going to intervene with you. First, I want the people to know, explain, what is meditation?
Well, I would be glad to. Meditation, at its most concise, would be where we have our body and our mind together in the present moment.
Our body and mind together at the present moment.
Yes. So let's say we're in a room like you and I are in our separate rooms.
Okay.
So that I am here in my body. I know I'm in my body and I'm in the room.
Okay.
I'm not so distracted by thinking or worrying or having emotional states that are so strong that really I'm not in the room. I'm distracted.
Okay, you're not in the room.
I am physically, but I don't feel my body. I don't feel, I don't notice what's in the room. I'm not hearing what's, maybe right now I hear chainsaws. But I'm just thinking. I'm thinking. I'm caught within my own mind. Maybe I'm worrying about, we have so many things to be worried about right now.
Okay.
They keep coming up. I'm worried, about finances, about family, about health, about how is this all going to work out? Are we all going to make it?
Yes.
Right now, this is a time when people are stressed in so many different ways.
Exactly.
And meditation is one of the many tools that can help.
Okay.
All right. And how? Often, when we start to feel overwhelmed, when we start to feel like it's too much, we've started to think about the future, or we're blending the past in with the future, and we're getting sort of a longer take on a space or time, and we start to worry, it's too much, I can't handle it, I'm overwhelmed, I just can't do that. But almost always, if we just come back to right now, this present moment that we're in, most likely that part we can take care of.
So we can take care of the present moment. We need to more focus on the present moment. What has
Yes.
happened back in 2020, let that stay behind and start with the present.
Yeah. I mean, I think we definitely would like to leave 2020 in the
Oh,
behind.
most definitely. Horrible year. Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay, so
So
how
that
can
is
we do that?
one. Now, how do we do that? We have
Right.
habit patterns of thinking, thinking, thinking. And meditation is a way of just literally sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way of feeling our body and knowing we are in our body. Where, you know, you can feel for me, for example, right now, I feel the cushion, the chair I'm sitting on. I feel
Right.
my feet on the floor.
Right.
I am present in my body. That's the first thing you do. You just take a deep breath, drop those shoulders. We need to breathe anyway. Kind of often, if you're feeling tense, if you do a body scan, kind of start at the top of your head and feel, well, where am I? My shoulders go straight up. My stomach gets tight. You know, we all know these things. You feel them and just relax and breathe deeply. Shallow breathing makes you feel anxious. Deep breathing tells your mind everything's okay.
So we need to do a scan our body how often? Every
I recommend people try to make it a habit.
make it a habit of
You're
scanning
in
your
a
body.
stressful situation because nobody even noticed it. You know, you just taking a deep breath and dropped your shoulders. We've oxygenated, but also it's just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Then, if we're in a situation, we've got to deal with something, you're paying attention, you're back in your body ready to do it. But for many of us, there's an underlying stress that's come out of this year that's always there. And so breathing deeply, checking, relaxing this whole area, especially for women in this whole kind of pelvic area and our stomach, we hold our backs, our shoulders, our heads, and our kind of stomach area.
We have to all just let go.
Let go. Just let go.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something you can do many, many times.
Okay.
Just when you're starting to worry, when you feel your blood pressure rising, when you feel those stress signals happening, just stop and take a deep breath, drop the shoulders, come back in your body, and sitting, standing, walking, it doesn't matter. You're there inside your body. You feel your breathing, you feel your feet, you feel the parts that are touching something. You can feel your clothes in places that are touching, your hair. You know, in my case, my glasses, I often feel them.
You often feel. Okay, since you mentioned about high blood pressure, let's talk about the benefits of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
What are the benefits of meditation?
That it does often help. Side effects, I like to say, of it are because you're more in tune with your body and how it is and your mind, then you can do these relaxations, you can do the deep breathing, and that helps your blood pressure go down. It really does. It is, we all have this ability, these tools. We all have, we can do it. We can all meditate. We can all figure out ways to self-relax.
Okay.
It's just that it's not a common thing we think about, oh, well, I could just relax right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think more about,
relax,
well, I could
we
watch
need to be
TV,
alone.
or I could call someone on the phone, or I could check the internet, which will just make you more uptight usually.
So we need to be alone in a quiet place?
No.
No?
No, you don't need to be alone in a quiet place. It helps, particularly in the beginning. A quiet place suggests, why don't I just relax? But you can do it anywhere. You can, right before a meeting, say, well, now we don't meet very many people.
Right.
But I often will step into the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when that's stalled, nobody knows what's happening.
Okay, so you
And
go in there and you do what?
I sit down or I stand for a moment, and just what I've been talking about. I do at least 3 deep breaths. I feel down through my body, where is there tension, and I just relax it. I put my attention into that place and just some warmth and some love and relax.
So many people doesn't know how to relax though. But I know you're going to teach us at the end. We're going to have a section at the end on how to meditate. So I know you're going to get to that later.
I am, because I want to. I love the fact that we have within us already everything that we need. It's just a matter of putting attention. It's a matter of becoming familiar with it. It's
okay,
like
let's go back with that. You said we already have everything in us that we need.
We do.
Like what? Like what?
Well, we have our body.
Okay.
We have our mind.
Mm-hmm.
We have our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
We're aware. We have mindfulness. We know what we're doing or what we're not doing. They're just not strong. What we strengthen are thinking and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
We strengthen those.
Okay.
But we also have 2 other parts in our just regular old mind. We have mindfulness and we have awareness.
Okay.
And those tend, unless you're a longtime meditator who's been working on it, those tend to be weaker, or we haven't noticed them so much.
Mm-hmm.
So mindfulness is you're aware of what is going on around you, and awareness, you remembering what you want to do, and you're aware of your environment. You're aware of where you are.
Okay.
We can take that. For example, if I'm worrying about maybe needing to pay the electric bill this month.
Okay, yes, that's majority of the people, especially right now with the pandemic going on. People lost their jobs, no income coming in. People are stressed out. How I'm going to pay my mortgage, how I'm going to pay my electric bill. So they're stressed. They're tense.
They're stressed. They're stressed. They really are. It's a very hard time. So then I'm thinking about it, right? I've already thought about it, like, let's say 25 times because it's really worrying me.
Okay.
Now, is that going to do me any more good to keep thinking about it? I've already got all the plans I can make. I've already seen all the scenarios. I've run them all several times. All I'm doing now is making my stomach hurt and my shoulders tense.
Okay.
And, you know, possibly I will now snap at somebody.
Right.
Or, you know, do some activity or beverage or what have you.
Right.
That maybe isn't helpful, or eat too much. These are all ways we try to calm, pacify, and distract ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I also could stop, literally not move for a moment, feel my body, say to myself, I've been thinking a lot about this. Now I'm going to breathe and relax, and I'm going to do it 3 times, and if that isn't enough, I'll do it 3 times more.
So each time should
be, you hear that?
Each time should be 3 times. Say,
yeah, I like 3 times. 3 times is enough to really have a sense of doing it.
Okay, so say, Candia, say enough is enough. I'm going to stop worrying. Let me relax. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I'm going to let it out through my mouth. And then
through your mouth or nose, whichever is comfortable.
And then I'm going to do it 3 times. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't relax me, then do it 3 more times.
3 times more.
Okay.
Then I find, I don't know if you can hear the outside. I hope I'm not.
Don't worry about it.
Okay,
We're
good. Well, I'll just continue on.
Continue on.
I have a large tree and they're cutting it and it's right over my roof. So I'm actually practicing what I'm talking about, which is, no, I'm not going to go to, you know, that, oh, it could fall and crunch my, no, I'm not going there.
This is all natural. This is all natural. It is
so
what
good.
it is. Yes. So
then if that doesn't help me, I will walk to a window and look out at the sky, look up into the sky. I will walk into my back porch and just look at the trees. Pay close attention to the sounds that I'm hearing, what I'm looking at, because this is another way to break that hold of thoughts, of really powerful thoughts, especially if they have emotional content with them. So I can breathe.
So you can forget about what you're thinking about. You can forget about the bills. You can forget about your problems.
What I'm trying to do is to break that continuity of thinking over and over and over again.
Okay. So
that if I put lots of attention on my sight, my sound, my feeling, you know, where I'm seated, how my body feels, what the temperature is, that's going to cut the strength of these repetitive thoughts that, especially, you know, ones that are laden with tension and stress.
Okay.
I recommend trying it. It really does work. It really does help.
It really works.
It does. It does. And the nice thing about this is, you know, everybody gets to try it themselves. And in Tibetan, which is the lineage that I've studied the most with, the word for meditation is gom. And that word literally translates into to become familiar with. To become familiar with.
Familiar
with. Yeah. And that is what we're doing in meditation. We are becoming very familiar with ourselves. Because we are giving us a space where we sit without moving. We don't talk. And we don't have a plan, you know. We think, our minds think just like our eyes see. We're not trying to stop thinking. What we're trying to do is stop being caught by them. Stop being where we're kind of drug around by those thoughts. And that's often an uncomfortable time, especially stressful things we think over and over again. So walking, if it's hard to sit, possibly because things are so tense, the strength of the problems, you can walk.
So then we can go out and walk about 30 minutes.
Walk up and down. My mom used to pray, and she would walk up and down and pray. You know, I have wonderful memories of walking up and down. But I would say that if you need to walk, then pay close attention to how your feet feel when you're moving. Pay close attention to the sounds you're hearing, what you're seeing, not thinking about it so much, but just allowing your senses to be strongly in the forefront of your mind.
So pay attention of your surroundings. Pay attention of your surroundings when you're walking. That's very important.
Pay close attention. Very important. It will cut. It's like you can't do multiple things at once. We do them fast. It seems like they're all, but really it's one at a time. So in this case now you're putting the emphasis on your senses and not on what it is that's causing turmoil, you know, within your thinking and your emotions.
I understand. So with this pandemic, what are your views? What are your views on the pandemic, of what's going on in the world today? And how do you think?
I think that this year has been probably the most stressful year in my life, certainly for the world.
Exactly.
You know, anyone who tries to minimize this and say these are not extremely hard times is not really clued into what's happening. This is hard. It has been hard. Now we're seeing, in a few months, we're going to have a vaccine more readily available. But between now and then, we need to be extremely careful. The hospitals are overloaded. The healthcare workers, they are,
bless their
dangerous.
hearts.
They have my undying gratitude.
Yes.
For the rest of my life.
Mine too.
The frontline workers, what they have done for us is a gift beyond words. And I hope we can all show our appreciation. For me, the best thing I can do is not get sick and not give it to anyone else if I did get sick. I feel that's, and pray for them.
That's right. That's right. So we should also, like they said, please help them out 6 feet apart, mask up, wear the mask.
Oh, yes. I have a mask, I have a shield, and I wear gloves, and I've got my hand sanitizer, and I only go to the grocery store at off times.
Yes.
Because I'm retired and most of my work is done online. We closed our center when the first case came into Tennessee. That was April 1st. We closed the center because we're too small. It wouldn't be safe, and just went to online.
Yes. So people, again, Candace, you have over 28 years experience with meditation.
Yes.
So she definitely knows what she's talking about. Well qualified, well educated lady. And so whenever she's ready, I'm definitely ready. Candace, this is my first time. I've never been to a meditation center. If I meditate, I meditate at home.
Yes.
And this is another myth. Is it good to do meditation 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock? But you say you can meditate anytime.
Would you tell me a little about your meditation? Would you be comfortable telling me a little bit about it?
I will tell you.
I would love to know.
Okay. Yes, what I do, and I don't even know if it's right or not, because I've never been to a meditation center. But what I do, I close my eyes.
Okay.
And I try to clear my mind of everything. I put myself out in space. You might think I'm crazy. I don't think you're crazy. I put myself when I close my eyes, I see darkness. When I close my eyes, I meditate. Everything is dark. I put myself out in space. I try to forget about everything. I take a deep breath. And I sort of pray within myself. I don't know if you understand that, but I sort of pray.
I'm very familiar with the coming to stillness and centering prayers and the Jesus prayer. I've studied many forms of meditation.
Yes. So then once I do that, and when I do that, it's so great. And I do it probably for 15 minutes. And I don't do it probably often enough, but whenever I have time, even when I'm in the tub, I like to take
tubs are great places.
I like to take hot bubble baths with candles all around.
Oh,
ooh.
That's a perfect spot for meditation.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh, yeah.
and when I get in the tub, hot water, bubbles, and then I close my eyes. And you know what? It's so relaxing. I fell asleep in the tub, and I know that's not good. It's so relaxing. I close my eyes, and I put myself in la la land.
Sounds heavenly. Hot water is the best,
That's the best thing. I think everybody needs to do that. I mean, it's just rejuvenate my body. It when I get out of the tub, oh my God, I feel so good. I'm like a brand new person. It does wonders, really. You know what? My body feels good when I do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes I stay in that tub like for 2 hours. Like for 2 hours. I kick back, I
Sure.
put my leg all up, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so good.
That sounds
And
wonderful. It sounds just wonderful. You know what I would say, I mean, we're talking about meditation here, but what I think you're hitting even more is people need to find as many ways as possible that is relaxing for them,
okay.
whatever it is, and try things and see if it works. You never know. Something new, you haven't tried it before.
Mm-hmm.
And the old tried and true is like a hot bath. Yeah, with the candles, candles themselves are just relaxing.
Just like
I
candles.
would highly recommend that people find as many ways as possible to self-comfort,
Mm-hmm.
to give themselves breaks, to
Mm-hmm.
give them relief,
Mm-hmm.
even for anything that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation, and what you're describing is very helpful in highly stressful situations. For someone who's using it as a practice and they're interested in understanding their minds and their inner emotions and of working with all their stuff and their habit patterns, then you can go into it in different ways.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we are often talking to ourselves and we don't know it. There's thoughts, there's habit patterns of ways of thinking. There are ways we think about ourselves that can often be harmful, or at least not as conducive to relaxation and to feeling good about ourselves. So if you want to use it for a mind training, if you would, then you spend more time. And that part of you that is mindful and aware is going to notice the thoughts and emotional content coming up. And over time, you'll start to notice patterns in thinking, habit patterns. Then you want to go into those slowly and carefully and figure out where they come from. What's triggering those? Is that really true? So that this practice of meditation as a more formal practice is one that's going to kind of open up to you your own mind, because you're not distracted. You're in your body in the present moment, and you know what's going on. You know what you're thinking. You know what you're feeling. You know how your body is, where those tense places are, where it hurts. So that is something that people might, I would say, if you want to start because of the stressful situation, is much like you're describing. Find a place you like. I love the tub.
Yeah.
Find a place you like that makes you feel good, that you're relaxed in, and then go there, sit comfortably, breathe deeply, eyes open or shut. If you've got, like I have a nice woods, I can see out this window right over here. And I find that is peaceful. It just makes me feel better to look at it.
I love nature. So you just look at
nature's wonderful. Dogs are wonderful. There's lots of things, and that we need to find everything we can to give us peace, comfort, affection, relaxation. As they say, a drop in the bucket will be full.
Right.
So also to minimize listening to the internet, cable, news shows, and things that make us feel worse. Once we've got the news down, re-listening, thinking about it, it just raises the blood pressure.
So you think it's too much of listening to?
Well, not like your show. This is wonderful. This is very helpful.
I'm
saying that too much negativity, too much, sort of a negative, harsh, angry view coming into our hearing, coming into our mind, coming into our hearts.
That's what's wrong with a lot of people. Too much negativism is out here, and they be
Yeah.
surrounded about negative. You need to be more positive. Is that right, Candia?
Oh, yes, it
You
is.
need to be around more positive people. You need to hear more
Yes.
positive things.
My niece, one time, right after her mom died, and she said to me, you know, Candia, whenever I start to feeling real bad, you know, I go onto YouTube and I watch cute animal videos. That always helps me. I've never forgotten that.
That's nice.
It's true. You know, we need to find what's our equivalent of cute animal videos and feed that into our daily life.
I love music.
That's a positive.
I love music.
What they say, accentuate the positive.
Yes, music. Music relaxes me.
Music is good. Yes. Yes.
I love music. Let's talk about children also for meditation.
Yes.
Is there like a little simple, I guess it's the same. Everybody meditation is the same. Is there like a different way that kids should meditate? Kids stressed out also.
They are stressed out. They are definitely stressed out. And mainly is they usually can't sit for as long. So short and sweet. Short more often. Actually, short and more often works for us too. It's not a marathon. There's nothing to prove, or, you know, this is to help us. This is to, ease our hearts and minds. That's what it's for. So if it starts to feel like a job or a chore or hard or kind of feeling inside, just take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, and start over. It's meant to be kind.
So that's what, say for instance, somebody's watching the show and they having a problem with their child, you know, the child is so tense and stressed. What should they tell their child? I mean, how can they get their child to relax?
That's hard because children have so many different reasons, and so much depends on the relationship with the adult. But it can help to ask them to identify where they feel it in their body, which will then allow them to shift out of a mental kind of state into their bodies. Where do you feel this? Are you feeling it in your chest? Are you feeling it in your stomach? Does your head hurt? Where is it? Where do you feel it? And have them identify that, and then suggest they take a deep breath and try to relax that place. Because that will often help in the mind. If the body relaxes, the mind tends to relax a little bit too. Breathing with children is always good.
They should
3
do
breaths, exactly.
3
breaths. You know how they always used to tell us to count to 10? This is sort of the meditation equivalent of counting to 10. Deep breaths. Because again, this oxygenating, the stopping and feeling, the breathing deeply. When we're into, fight or flight, we're breathing fast and shallow. When we're relaxed and happy, we tend to be breathing deeply. So we're telling our mind everything's okay. There's no need to be in that fight or flight. That does help, actually. Just breathing deeply through your mouth and nose will help your mind calm down. Again, we think everything's okay.
So the whole thing about meditation is the breathing techniques. Is that right? The breathing technique and clearing your mind will also help to release tension, in which that will also help to bring your any type of health issues down, like high blood pressure, other health issues.
Depends on the cause of it. If it's overthinking about things that make you tense, then yes, it will help. Meditation is more than that. It's a rich and deep field. But I think right now what we're talking about is during this ending, hopefully, of 2020 and the COVID and everything, that people are needing immediate help. Immediate help. And in this case, that's why I'm really recommending the deep breathing and the just stopping and coming back to wherever you are. Feel your body.
Mm-hmm.
Really feel, hear, see, as a way to break a strong thinking that is causing you. I mean, rarely if we're having super happy thoughts do we need to stop those. But at its heart, meditation is being fully present, moment by moment by moment. And we all start by doing it in short periods, short times, and then we start thinking so much, we forgot we had a body. We have no idea where we are. We're just thinking. You know, it's like we left our body.
Mm.
And we're so busy in our head thinking that we don't know where our body is. We don't know we're in a room like we are right now. And so we want to come back in to the body. As the eyes are seeing the room, the ears are hearing the sounds, the body's feeling wherever it is. We're smelling whatever the smells are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to just pay attention mentally to what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of I'm worrying about 2 weeks from now when that bill's due.
Okay.
Because, you know, I've already thought about it 14 times in the last 30 minutes.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's all it's doing is just chewing me up and my stomach's churning and, you know, I've got heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it isn't going to help pay that bill in 2 months.
It's not going to help.
But it sure does make me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're trying to be able to, techniques to break that continuity of those thoughts.
That's right.
And you just keep trying it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the become familiar with, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't learn to play the piano in 1 week.
Right.
If someone's a pianist, a good one, they've spent years. They spent hundreds of hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we start with those scales and how to place the hands so we're not going to get carpal tunnel or something.
Mm-hmm.
The same as with meditation. Starting by just trying to set up a pattern that we can remember to keep coming back to the present moment, to keep back in my body,
Back in my body,
back in the room. Here I am in my room talking to you.
Okay.
And to all the people later who are going to be listening to this, who
That's
I
right.
really want to say something that'll be helpful.
Thank you. So Candace, I know you're going to give us a meditation section. So everybody, all the viewers, if you're watching this show, you can participate with this meditation section. Now we're going to do exactly what Candy tell us to do. And this will be my first meditation section.
All right,
with a
I'll do a formal one.
Okay.
I'll do one as I would do if someone came to the center
and
asked for meditation instruction, which people do quite often. In fact, many people come because...
So you tell us what to do.
All right, well, then let's do it. So, it is not necessary to sit cross-legged like you see those postures. If you can, great. I have never been flexible enough to get both of my legs, you know, crossed up so that they're resting on my thighs. I couldn't do that when I was 10, much less now.
Mm-hmm.
So the important thing is to be comfortable. So whether you're seated on the bed, whether you're seated in a chair, whether you're seated on a, you know, fancy meditation cushion in your place, what you're going to want to do is to get your back as straight as you can. You want to be upright because this is going to open up your lungs. This allows the nervous system and the blood flow to be natural. We also want our head, let me see, it's close enough, but you want to feel like you've got a little cord. I'll just bend down. A little bit of like a cord is pulling you up. You can feel that? You know how, yeah, I saw you raise up right there. So you're straight and you want that head balanced Not too far back and not too far forward. So you're going to have the weight of the old bowling ball. And this is going to allow your shoulders to relax. It's just the natural how we are when we're seated straight. If you're seated cross-legged, then your legs have taken care of themselves. If you're seated in a chair, then you want to put your feet flat on the ground. Just, straight down, flat on the ground. Now, your hands, some people put them like this. I'll get them up like this. I was trained, and I am just really comfortable with putting my hands down, straight down, flat on my thighs. So you can, I'm raising it up so you can see, but you're just going to drop that in your lap.
Okay.
It just drop down in your lap, or your hands like this, but just flat on your thighs. Again, feel your shoulders. If you're like me, I'm always having to roll them back, so I get them straight. There. Your eyes may be open or closed, whichever is most comfortable for you. If your mind is super busy, then you may want to close your eyes. If you're already feeling tired and sleepy, you'll want to leave them open. Again, this is very much personalized. And you should feel empowered to take over your own meditation. All right, so you're seated, you're upright, your head is balanced, your eyes are open or closed as you like. If you will take the tip of your tongue and place it on the roof of your mouth lightly, you'll feel your jaw drop. It's amazing for relaxing the lower part of your face. Now this is the posture. Take 3 deep breaths. And as you breathe, relax. The mind is the important part in meditation, because the mind is what is the ruler of body and speech so often, and is where so many of our patterns lie, the ways we think and what we think of and how we do it, that cause trouble. And this is completely under our control. It will take time, but we can tame, we can relax, we can become friends with our own mind. We can know it very well, and it can be our friend and ally. The way we start is this, with the body first. And although I am talking, in meditation we don't talk. So then we sit. The senses in this case are fully aware, but we are not thinking about them. They just happen, and we let it happen. We hear, we see, we smell, we feel whatever's there. As you sit quietly, relax any places that feel tense. And when thoughts come up in your mind, we think, our mind thinks, it's fine. Stay breathing in your body, wherever you're seated. Let the thoughts just be there. Don't follow. Don't add to. We say don't starve, don't feed. They're just there. It's no problem. The secret to becoming a real meditator is that when a thought becomes so strong that you have forgotten you are seated in the room you're in, the moment you notice that, you're back. Stay back. Don't feed that thought. Don't go back to thinking about it. Just come back to the room and you're breathing. You're seated and you're breathing. That's the secret to becoming a meditator and to training your mind. Breathe deeply and relax. How often you need to remind yourself that you are seated in the room. That's fine. Keep coming back and breathing. Back to yourself, back to the room. I don't want to take too much of your time in this descriptive, because this is something that's best done with yourself and with your children, your family. But if you're having a time with lots of thoughts, don't become discouraged. When you first start meditating, it's going to most likely, if you're new to it, it's going to feel like this is causing me to think. Oh, I'm thinking 3 times as much as I did. No, you're not. It's the same. You just didn't notice. You're actually learning to meditate because you're noticing. You're noticing your thoughts. So take heart with that, because it's common. Take heart that you are meditating. Over and over again, short periods of time, staying present, staying in your body. And when you're thinking, if they're heavy, you can even say thinking inside your mind, just to yourself, remind yourself, this heavy, powerful thought is just that, is a thought. It does not exist. It's your mind. And ultimately, you rule your world and your mind. And meditation is a tool to learn to do that, so that your mind stays on a subject when you want it to, and your mind can let go of one when you want it to. Really helpful, especially the letting go here in the 2020-ness.
Thank you. We're finished with the meditation. My eyes
We
are
are.
still, my eyes are still closed. That was just so wonderful. That put me in a whole different frame of mind. It's like my thoughts left. It's like another me stepped out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like that me went and cleaned itself. And then that me came back and said, now I'm ready for 2021.
2021, we're all ready for 2021.
We're ready for 2021.
We are so ready. Oh.
We got all of that dirt from 2020 behind us, and we're ready to start a new year, 2021.
My hope is that many people have seen what they don't want in their life, and they have found things they want in their life, and that in 2021 they're able to strengthen those parts that bring them joy, that bring them happiness, that calmness, a centeredness, a sense of community, and a certain deep love for our frontline workers.
Thank you. That's right. We pray for each and every one. We wish each and every one a prosperous 2021. On that note, I want to thank you so very much for your time. And that's Candia Looney. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
You are most welcome. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.